Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Battle Marshes. Playing as the Orks on the northern side, we've got Master Yoba, and playing in the deep south as the Force of Chaos, we have got DANTIST. DANTIST will be opening up with triple Cultists and a Chaos Temple, whereas the Orks are going to go for triple Slugger Boys, a Grot Squad, a Boys Hut, and a Generator. It's been a while since we've been on Battle Marshes. I do believe that the Forces of Chaos got a slight advantage, maybe even a big advantage, in the early to mid-game on account of, look at them, they're going to go for some Raptors, and this terrain is ideal for lots of jumping units. Orks only have the jumping units from the Storm Boys, and they come a little bit later, need at least 3 War Banners, if I'm not mistaken, to get those up. They do get the big mech, and he can teleport, but his teleport is a little bit, well, it's good, but it takes a long time to charge up. And obviously when the Chaos Marines then go for Tier 2, they've then got their Hellblades, Sonic Blades, the flying things that go over things, which is going to be great. And the Orks, their flyer is a fighter bomber, which isn't amazing. It's great for unit disruption, which we might see later on, but in the grand scheme of things, not amazing. Raptors already out, they're going to come over and bother these Grots. And they've got a, what is this, like a lime? Pac-Man, but being disintegrated. Whatever that symbol is, it looks fairly cool. But the Grots will not be building that up anytime soon. I'm just going to chase after them with their little leggy legs. Over here, the cultists are going to have a sniff around that relic. Slugger Boys curving around the side of the mountain. I mean, were they seen? No, they're just out of reach. So, stealthy Orks manoeuvring around. Big Mech sees these Raptors, and the Raptors will run in fear and terror from him. No point in losing any models at the moment. They don't need any green money to reinforce, so Chaos Forces are chilling out, not going to go for an early generator. They're going to try and get that map capture, that map presence before they go any further into their tech. I'm just going to scare away the Slugger Boys over on this side. Got some cultists stabbing away at these Sluggers, Big Mech, and a couple of infiltrated Grots, early infiltration for them, as to prevent the Raptors from causing them any mischief. Raptors will see these Slugger Boys. And it's Sluggers trying to kill the cultists, Raptors trying to kill the Sluggers, everyone's ignoring everyone. An isolated kind of fight going on there. The Raptors will kill the Sluggers if they don't decide to turn around there. And straight at 1 versus 1, the Sluggers do lose against the Raptors. And yeah, it does look like their squad wipe will go on just there as this last Slugger dies in the corner by himself. Got Chaos Lord hiding in the heavy cover, shooting around at this Big Mech. The Big Mech won't win a 1v1 against the Chaos Lord, but with some lads in the squad, he should be relatively alright. Orks do get a morale regeneration boost, as well as max health bonus, question mark, when they've got a certain amount of boys in the squad. Don't know how many they've acquired, but the more guys you have in a squad, the happier they are. I do believe it's 30 plus in a general area for them to be immune to morale damage as well. These guys, there's only 4 of them, and there's 4 Raptors, so they're not going to win anytime soon. Going to see a squad of shooter boys, as I imagine big shooters is probably the way forward. Orks will need to tech up as quickly as possible if they want to avoid losing the entire map to the Force of Chaos here. They will see a lonely listing post over on this side. One negative about the Chaos opening for this is that they will not be able to upgrade any of their listing posts until they get those generators on the go. Got 1 plasma generator here, which are you being built up? You are being built up just very slowly. No active dancing going on there, just a regular shimmy and shake. Raptors seeing these guys and saying, oh, you leave our listing post alone, but they're like, no, thank you. This is our listing post now. I'm going to get some more boys in the squad there. While that is going on, the Force of Chaos are massing over onto this side. A War Banner being attempted to be brought up here. Bit risky using them for defense, but they might need every ounce of defense they could possibly get. Shooter Boy's been tied up by the cultists over yonder. Chaos Lord ignoring everyone else and going for that tech. Sluggers slapping around some Chaos Marines as they're being covered by this listing post. And more Raptors jumping in. Well, not more Raptors, they're the same amount of Raptors as before, just more models. Grot's been spotted by those cultists with their evil eyes. Are now going to go for that pile of guns. And all the Sluggers getting murderized over onto this side. Over here, they've managed to decap this strategic point, so tit for tat. Listing post still standing for the Orks, is leveled up. Got a little bit more health. Orks, oh, not Orks, sorry, the Chaos Space Marines have lost their morale. But it does look like that they will be able to strike down this listing purse, so ultimately the trade has been won by the Force of Chaos here. Sluggers down here are going to try and see if they can cause some more mischief down here. They can't win the main engagement this way, so may as well divert your forces somewhere else. A war banner has been built up over here, and a minefield as well. So that's good stuff. Current economies at the moment are 74 and 10, compared to 74 and 10, so even Stevens all across the board. Going to go for a second war banner. Absolutely determined on defending this place, but 3 cults over here can spot that minefield, so bit of a crying shame there, and now all this stuff is ready for the plucking. Might be worth destroying that war banner, or cancelling that war banner even. Listing post over here being upgraded to also protect the plasma generator. So these slugger boys, even though they've got free reign in the chaos base, not going to strike down anything too quickly. One war banner goes down, another war banner goes down. That's what, 175 blue money per war banner, so that's a heavy investment that's been lost here. I mean, they've lost... I mean, they cancelled this one over here, I think. Did they cancel it? No, one got cancelled, but one got destroyed. So that's a lot of money that the Chaos Marines have managed to take down, as well as 2 level 2 listing purse. Orks really struggling with their investments at the moment. They have gone for the big shooters there. So if they can stay out of close combat, they'll be able to melt a lot of the Chaos Marines. Over on this side, the big mech is slapping down another listing purse, maybe even decapping that relic there. We're also in the Grots. They've built up a listing post here. They've now jumped inside the listing post to keep themselves protected and safe. Let's call this are going to struggle to take on that listing post as it comes with a free shooty bit on top. Not sure if it actually kills them proper quick. Not proper quick, but it'll take down a couple of models. And every little helps when it comes to being behind this much. What's the current tech for the Orks? Yeah, I mean, 0 war banners at the moment. But they've already got the pile of guns out, so will not prevent them from building up any further big shooters. Once you get a piece of tech for the Orks, it does stay there forever and ever, amen. Listing post over here. Not long for the well, but the big mech will teleport in and see if he can scare him off. He is able to scare him off a little bit. Can also repair stuff on the fly if he really wants to. Just something you don't often see the big mech do. But it is an option for him, should he wish. Tier 2 for the listing post here. But will be stricken down, I imagine, before it's able to be built up. No Tier 2 for Dantist at this present moment in time. Left-hand side is a bit chill, everyone focusing on the combat on the right-hand side. Slugger boys, again, not doing much against the Raptors. They're there mainly just to keep the Raptors away from the base, because at the moment the base is quite fragile. Currently no listing posts have been upgraded. This one's on the way to being upgraded there. Shooter boy has been chased away, trying to push out. We do have some Grots hiding in the corner here. To be honest, the Grots could, if they really wanted, just come out and start stabbing this heretic. That'd be fun. One elbow from the big mech being missed on that Raptor. Listing post down here has been taken. And just hopscotching over the sluggers. They'll be killed pretty quickly. Big mech just getting a free couple of shots off before anything major happens. Sluggers over here, double shooter boys, and also Warband as well, so I reckon that the Orks are probably going to have a big standoff here. Force of Chaos do have both the relics. So if they just decided, hey, you know what, we've got the map is ours, let's build up our tech and our economy, they will be absolutely laughing later on, but they are still spending a lot of their time in the Tier 1. And the Tier 1s, if you want to be really formal. Having all the research for the Orks. And getting those war banners up and ready. They don't have time to build up their economy. They need to keep up with the pace and the tech. At the moment, Forces of Chaos, they're not really pushing in all that much. They're being constantly distracted on the right-hand side by this big mech. Big mech is realistically not going to win in this kind of engagement, but he is occupying 2 whole squads of peepers. And also killing a heretic as well. Poor lad. Being happy slapped into non-existence. God, that's a reference, happy slapping, if we're around in the 2000s in England. Oh, we've got Tier 2 for the Orks. So, mech shop has been built up. Chaos Space Marines over here, umming and ahhing. They're not quite sure whether they want to go in or not. I mean, there's 2 war banners now. So the longer they wait, the harder it's going to be to penetrate this side of the map. But on this side, it's easy breezy. Not much going on. They could send the Raptors in just for a little cursory glance, see what's going on. I mean, there's a couple of generators in the centre that they could stab at, but going for the Orks in a game like this, Orks are surprisingly defensive. It's a fairly common thing to think, oh yeah, well Orks, you know, they like to smack things, they're quite an aggressive race, and yes they are, but they've also got some defensive tricks up their sleeve. We are seeing tier 2 for Dantist now on the way, while Master Yoba is going to get out a war truck, which will keep these shooter boys safe, pack them in there, manoeuvre them around, Raptors come over, jump back in, and drive away to safety until the Raptors are out of jumping juice. Does seem like that the Chaos Space Marine player has decided, or should I say Dantist has decided, to go in for the long haul. Why waste your army when you can save it for later on? And they're still going to be really good in tier 2 when the Hell Talons come out. At least I think they're called Hell Talons. We will find out. Maybe, if he goes for them. But the Chaos Rhino is also a good idea. You know, stick at exactly the same kind of situation. Or the same kind of theory. Have a vehicle speed boost reset to make them super duper mobile. And there we go, they're on the offensive now. They've also gone for the more Daka research, so they'll be doing a lot more damage. Those cults have been absolutely melted by that strong Daka line. They jump out and they're going to focus straight on one squad of Chaos Space Marines at once. With the heavy bolter turret and the listing post as well. Quite a lot of damage incoming. And that's a firefight that they're going to do really well in the initial openings of it, but these guys are a little bit tankier, and these buildings as well will be able to survive for a lot longer. We'll see a machine pit, the spicy pizzeria floating in the air, and more plasma generators. But no one really committing. Going to go for some war tracks for the missile launchers, as well as I assume the bomb chuckers, which would be great for disrupting unit cohesion. The more spread out a squad is, the less people are firing at once. So overall, reducing their amount of DPS. We've got a Chaos Rhino, so a match made in heaven. They're going to be doing the exact same kind of thing. Over here, the war tracks are shooting up this listing post. Raptors will come in and say, please leave our listing post alone. Well, that's the advantage of having the mobility of a vehicle. You can attack one side, and when you think, you know what, that's too much, come around the other side, all these cultists being murdered in less than 2 seconds. So this listing post over here is struggling. Chaos Rhino coming over, but they're outnumbered, outgunned. Activating their forces of please hurt me harder, and we'll hurt you harder as well. Need to keep those Raptors, if they're going to go for an engagement, they may as well keep the Raptors on top of that war truck just to force them to move around. But ideally you want some maybe horrors in there just to keep that war truck, well, dead, I suppose. Chaos Marines coming over. There's a minefield here, I imagine. Yes, there is one there. But the Slugger Boys are outnumbered, so they will die. And the war truck will just come right over here. Oh, there we go. That's what you do. Rather than going for horrors, go for Hell Talon. I can keep up with the war truck all day long. These guys are going to fall back into the protective firing power of these war banners. War tracks kind of see if they can find the Hell Talon. It'll move on the other side. Got some tank busters. Great for sniping out this Chaos Rhino. If they're too zealous with this Chaos Rhino, move too far forward and then get the Rhino blown up, then they'll just have to basically run away from the shooter boys, which, I mean, by the time they run away, they'll all be dead, won't they? Got a grenade going off, forcing one squad of shooters to be temporarily offline. Big Mech detaching from this squad so he can just constantly engage in close combat. Gonna kill this aspiring champion if left to his own devices. Double Hell Talons on the way, trying to snipe out that war truck and attempt at building something there, a turret I imagine, to prevent the war truck from getting away. Not quite. Infiltration for the tank busters here. Current economies are 80 and 50 compared to 92 and 50. Got a Chaos Sorcerer on the way out will be able to spot those infiltrated tank busters. Definitely survive a lot longer than the cultists will in this current engagement. Little war trucks. They're big boomers as well. Got some grots on the backside, keeping these war trucks fighting fit and healthy. So at the moment, have the forces cast? Yeah, the Chaos still got both the relics. So still got that map presence, even though that war truck did a really, really good job keeping the pressure on the Orks. Did the war truck go down? Oh, the war truck's hiding in the ridges. Using the heavy bolters' superior range to try and keep out of the firing path of the war banners, but the heavy bolters aren't going to do that much against the war tracks. And it's a proper grim siege, this. Helltalon's moving forward. Dustbins of chaos being fired at the war trucks. Raptor's going to jump over on the side, snagging this war truck over away. We've got a Nob squad winding on themselves onwards and over. Big Man going to teleport straight in the middle with the Nobs. Nobs going to try and see if they can stab everyone within their path. Helltalon being zapped by the Big Mech's Big Zapper. A lot of firepower coming in for the big shooters. But this is what, 3 squads of Chaos Space Marines, and they've all got quadruple, or they're going for quadruple heavy bolters. So I quite like that. The best way to tank or to counter the big shooter blob is just by getting your own big shooters. Some Eldritch bolts being fired over here, but nice little bit of micro there. The shooter boys avoiding that incoming damage. These guys managing to kill all the Nobs, but they don't quite have the punching power to get through all this stuff here. Helltalon, I do believe, also has gone down in that engagement. So, Orks coming out on top of that, I would say. If you compare and contrast all the dead bodies on the floor, I know that I don't have all the bodies there, but otherwise games like this would just basically tank my frame rate. But yeah, certainly an advantage for the Orks. Oh, there we go, the Grots. They remember that they're about. They're now going to run away. And with their tails in between their legs, Dantist brings his Chaos Boys home. But it's not all over just yet. It's going to get another Chaos Rider. Can't quite push through there at the moment, there. Over on this side, cultists will spot these tank busters, see if they can give them a good stab in. Helltalons, and that's what we want, right? If you've got a really good, strong defensive line here, just ignore the defensive line, fly over it. Get a small fleet of Helltalons. That's what the Doctor ordered. We've got to watch out for that Big Mech when that zap comes in. Absolutely knackered. Thankfully, there's no tank busters nearby. But there's a war truck. And if it can hit, missing 2 volleys there. Very unfortunate. That's why you can't necessarily rely on the war track for complete and total anti-vehicle stuff. The tank busters are much more viable, considering that even though they are just as inaccurate, they fire a lot of rockets in one go. Another Chaos Rhino on the way. 2 squads of boys over here. The Grots sneaking around with their infiltrated nonsense. They move over, try and repair this listing post. Double shooter scaring these guys away. 1 singular Chaos Space Marine left. Only the aspiring champion will be reinforced there. On this side, the cultist, full-blown squad of cultists, it has to be said, is just keeping this side sweet. Also the Helltalon over here, now on the back lines. So yeah, the Orks are struggling to defend their base. The lack of maneuverability. Could put a war truck in with some tank busters. But that's, I mean, it's the micro if anything else. You've got assaults going on down here. You've got Helltalon in the base. You've got to keep your eyes on this side because that's where the Chaos Forces are just basically sticking around, making sure that the Orks can't really push out or counteract any of this harassment coming in. Helltalon quite low on health though, managed to bring that back for some repairing. Can it avoid death? Narrowly just. 1 last missile not quite hitting the mark there. RC in tier 3 on the way. What current tier is the Orks in? Oh, you've been knocked back down to tier 1. More zaps in there. There was an engagement over here, and I imagine they probably killed some stuff, possibly. Nobs now the mainstay of the front line for the Orks. A lot more durable. Got 12 in their pack. Well, 11 if you include the Nob in there as well. So now it's the Orks' turn to lay siege. On this side, the tank busters have been tied up by the cultists, but we'll see a war truck, the bomb chucker, coming in to provide some support. So yeah, tier 3 for the Chaos Space Marines. Possessed Marines would be amazing in this situation. Transitioning away from the mass Chaos Space Marines into the Wombo combo of Obliterators and Possessed would certainly make those Nobs think twice. Not sure who would win in the straight fight between Nobs and Possessed. Unless, of course, the Possessed have gone for the upgrades where they get their fiery mouths and stuff. Helltail of 23 health coming in. Poor lad. It's a suicide mission. But he's brave. He's going to give it a go all the same. A lot of shooter boys. Oh, a sacrificial circle. What are you doing over here, young man? Sacrificing itself, no doubt. There's a lot of Chaos Forces there. I mean, if we look at their squad cap at the moment, 8 total. So that's, in fact, oh, there's another one. So yeah, that's a lot of boys. And yeah, Possessed Marines. I know the game. I know the build orders and the counters. Cultist being stabbed to death. Or slashed to death, not sure. You can stab someone with an axe. Unless you really wanted to. Heavy Bolters and a Defiler. Defiler will be amazing for providing artillery support. Can also be doubled up as a close combat unit should they need the additional slicing and dicing. Possessed Marines also very mobile as well. Nobs are a little bit slower. So once they're in a melee engagement, there's no real chance of them avoiding it unless they've got the big mech in for teleporting reasons. Possessed Marines have been upgraded with their demonic fire research, so the morale of these guys is going to suffer quite tremendously. Especially when you've got all these guys firing away. Swapping their heavy bolters for plasma guns should help them with the heavy infantry of the Nob squad. And yeah, they haven't been able to get a good engagement there. Really what they need to do is teleport straight in on a blob of units and have the shooter boys providing firing support. But it's hard to get that when the Force of Chaos have got a Chaos Rhino on the way. You can always avoid that Nob teleporting. Which, again, whenever we talk about Nobs, it's not a phrase I'd ever wished I thought I'd say. One thing that the Chaos Space Marines, if they're going to stick with the mess of Chaos Space Marines, I wonder if maybe going for that infiltration research would be a good idea for them. They're in tier 3, so they'll be able to get it. And if anything, it just helps. Because, I mean, Orks do struggle with infiltration detection. They've got the big mech, which can see things. They've got the Mega Armored Nobs, which can also see things, and they've got the War Boss. That's 3 points of blooming infiltration detection. But they're not very mobile, the War Boss or the Mega Armored Nobs. So if you want to be a little bit base harassy, what's going on over here? Oh, your tank busters. Sorcerer Lord in there. Well, not Sorcerer Lord, sorry, just a regular Chaos Sorcerer. Spotting these tank buster squad wipe going on down there. Halton keeping these slugger boys on their toes, but they have managed to cap this stuff. Also managing to decap the stuff over here. It's a very tense match. A lot of standing still, which is to be understandable. As you can't really push one way or the other without the other player gaining some sort of leverage or advantage. We have seen some killer cans for the Orks, which is an interesting choice. Don't normally see them, but a stronger front line. They can also resist the Possessed Marines fairly well. Obliterators have been summoned, or they're at least in the cards for summoning. Orks try again on this side. The moment these Orks move over on this side, the Chaos Space Marines push forward with these guys. Bluebears on the front lines there, probably not where they want to be. Already losing one squad. Well, not one squad, one model. They're quite expensive as well, at 100 blue and 35 green. The Possessed Marines are going to ignore everything. They're really good at chunking through buildings, these guys. Killer Can's going to see if they can shoot them at a distance, but not very well. Nobs also having to teleport away in a defensive manner. Killer Can's going to storm forward. See if they can get a good slice on these obliterators. And they will win in a straight-up 1v1. Actually doing a significant amount of damage there. Possessed Marine's also been brought down to 2 models. Only really getting 1 War Banner down. It's not a great trade. And with the Orky 4 upgrade, I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you get that Orky 4 upgrade, you can be reduced in your War Banners, but you can still have access to any units that, so like, I think it's like the Flash Gits and stuff. I think Storm Boys and Nobs and stuff like that, I think they're still affected by that, but any units that require exclusively just the Orky Fort, they're totally fine. I could be wrong there. Either way, we've got War Tracks in here. Look and see if they can kill anything good, but does not look like it. Not sure what exactly they're firing at. They are going to get crumped good and proper. Got a long-range engagement now. They've got the sight. They've also got the infiltration for their Chaos Space Marines. It's going to be a bit difficult. Killer Can taking on the chain. God, this is actually like a really awkward... Right, let's just observe from this angle. This blooming shrubbery here. Not doing us any favours. Yeah, that Killer Can, he's like, no, you're not passing. Got a fighter bomber on the way. That was earlier on. Not quite the same amount of harassment as a Hell Talent, but got a wonderful... Where are you going? So, favourite thing about a fire bomber, not the most accurate stuff, but does its job. But yeah, so like I say, it's not as base harassing as a Hell Talon, but great at disrupting firing formations, and this seems to be a firing kind of game. Got a Demon Prince summoning. Ready and willing to go. So with a Demon Prince as well on those front lines, Possessed Marines, and they're well on the way to get the blooming Bloodthirster. Now that they've got their Chaos Predator stuff out. So yeah, the Orks going to need to pull something out the backsides if they want to keep up. Flash Gates are a good choice. Never go wrong with a couple of Flash Gates in your ranks. Firing away are these infiltrated Chaos Space Marines. So these guys have got no chance whatsoever. In fact, they've been left behind. Probably being sacrificed to make room for more Flash Gates. Got another Nob squad on the way. Orks have been transferred down to this side. Obliterate squad moving in. I'm going to slap down those tank busters. Chaos Lord as well. Been left over on the left-hand side. But neither big mechs come... Ah, there we go. The big mechs here. So we'll be able to spot these Chaos Space Marines, but we'll need more infiltration detection with this War Boss. Should they wish to keep the peepers on the enemy. Fire Bomber firing away at this Chaos Predator. I mean, the Fire Bomber could attack the ground, I think, and still strike down these Chaos Space Marines. Okay, here comes the rockets. Huge explosion. Nobs leading the way. War Boss on the backside now. There's WoW ability, which increases the movement speed and attack speed, I do believe, of the Orks. And this is quite a high tier unit composition. Warbin popped. Helping them get into the correct position. Also got some Storm Boys in there just to keep those plasma pistols off the Nobs. Yeah, fantastic unit composition here. Desperately's going to go around the side, stab up these Flash Gates. Flash Gates are going to really struggle with that. Also, this Chaos Predator has just been left to its own devices. These Flash Gates will fall back, and the Nob squad being left an island to itself. Will need to run away. Possessed Marines just standing still, just absolutely obliterating things with their fiery mouths. Chaos Predator does go down there. It's a fairly even exchange. But a Demon Prince just striding in. War Boss versus Demon Prince. I think we saw it a couple of weeks ago. A War Boss take on a Demon Prince. But that was under extreme duress. It was not a fair fight, I think. Over on this side, we are seeing a Heretic being slapped around by double Killer Cans. So economy being harassed even more. Demon Prince walking in, sending this Flash get a flying. Current economies are 1, 2, 1 and 43 compared to 88 and 68. It's a very green heavy economy for the Orks, which makes sense. But could do with some more upgrades on their economy. But it's understandable they've been having to spend every scrap of blue that they can just to keep up technologically. Just have got still hiding in the corner here. I do love this. James Bond grots. Oh, killer cans. One had been taken down. They're trying to keep up with these obliterators. Tempest is taking out that Hell Talon as well. Got Mad Docs. Now a couple of burner bombs. That's what the Doctor ordered. You can get a good burner bomb off on these Chaos Space Marines. That'll do you a world of good. But it's getting in there, that's the problem. Firebomber spots the Demon Prince. And what are you going to achieve here, Demon Prince? You're not going to do much on your own. All the eyes, you're going to stick around here and maybe, I don't know, convince the Orcs to stay around here when the Possessed Marines and the Obliterators come over on this side and stomp things on this side. A two-pronged attack, I think the Orcs will struggle with. The wombo combo of Flashgits and Nobs will learn them, well, as a group themselves, they can take on anything I think that the Chaos Force can bring to them, but if you're going to split them up, I don't think they'll be doing that great of a situation. Fighter bomber, slow but surely being shot down. It's interesting how the Obliterators choose to use their Gatling guns against aircraft rather than las cannons. Killer can in the bushes. Hiding away like your uncle at a park. Chaos Sorcerer just slowly but surely killing these guys. They've accepted their death. That's fine. Another fighter bomber. In fact, double fighter bombers. And the big mech just having a glance over the mountain. Defiler being shot slowly up by the fighter bomber, but the fighter bomber is not going to do much damage against it. I mean, if we look, current health is 1,096. Oh no! Brilliant, brilliant stuff. I love that. The accuracy of the Orcs never to be mistrusted. We are going to see some extra vehicle armor. There's some looted tanks on the way, I assume, and maybe even a cheeky squig-off. So now after we see those in these high-tier games, some more vehicle cap increase, as well as some Chaos Predators. No one wanting to take that first plunge into combat. Just a general bombarding campaign. Heretic attempting to dance this listening post into existence. Oh no, it's already existing. On account of the disco dishes dancing around. Demon Prince just walking backwards and forwards.
5 minutes until.
And actually, Dantist can just sit back. He's got both critical locations. So he does not need to invade the Orc base. It's actually the Orcs that need to do something themselves. Well, I reckon, whichever side they decide to go for, whether they come down here and try and get this critical location, there's lots of infiltrated Chaos Space. In fact, how many infiltrated Chaos Space Marines are there? There's 2 squads. So I don't think that the Chaos Space Marines have got enough on either side to win either engagement if the Orcs decide to go left or right. Like I say, once the Orcs commit heavily to one side, well then the Force of Chaos can just go to the other side. So what's your plan? Looted tanks? Chaos Marines over here have been blasted by the fighter bomber yet again. He doesn't need to see him, just attack the ground. If you can hit the ground, that is. Got more Chaos Space Marines. Got some horror squads in the sacrificial circle, as well as a bloodthirster. But are we going to see the big bad Squiggoth? Squiggoth will really struggle on this map in particular, just because of all the nooks and crannies and narrow corridors it would have to traverse through. Probably fighter bombers are the better option. War Boss, where are you going? What are you doing? He's just striding forth, providing these guys some vision. Exploding everyone and anyone. Is the Big Mac thinking about teleporting out? Or is he just making the space just to identify what kind of forces are over here. It's an odd strategy, but it's going to give it a go all the same. Demon Prince not wanting to get involved. He's suspecting a trap.
3 minutes until taken.
Cunning and brutal are these orcs. And okay. They're moving all these guys over onto this side, so it's a feint. They've potentially been bamboozled. Slugger Boy's out on the way here. Now, have you gone... Are you getting... You've gone for unlimited orcs. So if you can't break through their defences by regular means, just keep on building orcs forever and ever until you eventually win. So keep your elites on this side, move your chaff on the right-hand side. Wherever they can physically get through is yet to be seen, but the big mech has teleported over onto this side, which is very brave of him. Won't be able to get out there anytime soon. Nobs have been chained down by the Chaos Sorcerer. And all the possessed marines are just going to walk forward. And this Nob squad over here is probably going to be kaput. Killer cans like a crab moving forward. Nob squad going to sit in the corner, hoping that having something against their back will prevent them from being surrounded by the possessed marines. Blurer's really struggling with these killer cans, actually. But double Chaos Predators will do the same. Flash gets now moving forward over onto this side. Demon Prince ready to strike these, giving them the big bad Chaos Uppercut. We've all seen a Bloodthirst on this side. A war being called by the war boss. I don't know if anyone's going to win this thing. I don't know if the Orcs can win this side of the engagement. Or this side, for that matter. They've got the unlimited Slugger Boys, which is perfectly fine, but walking in one by one, you're going to have to mass them up first before moving them forward, I reckon. Or maybe just build more boys' huts. The Bloodthirst is going to absolutely love this kind of combat. Quite happy to sit around and kill chaff all day long. Also wonderful at sniping out buildings as well. Over on this side, it's just a big, green, chaosy mess. Who knows what's really going on in this? We've got Chaos Predators been surrounded. Possessed Marines setting everyone on fire. Fighter bombers exploding things on the sides. Looted tanks providing artillery support. Blair is looking to take out a few war banners. And at the moment, actually, yeah, the forces of... What, Force of Chaos? The Force of the Orcs. They've got a little bit more room for population cap. They are struggling. Bloodthirster being crumped by the Mega Armor Nobster. Bloodthirster does struggle with Commander Armor, I do believe. So actually, the 3 Nobs, 4 Nobs even, in their Mega Armor. Not bad, the morale has been broken, but they're still going to give it a good old college try. So big push in from the left-hand side as the Orcs on this side are still struggling. Just the sheer amount of Chaos Space Marines outnumbering the Green Tide. Horrors engaging in close combat. I assume they were coming in to kill the looted tanks, but the sluggers are just constantly on top of them. Oh, that was a wonderful burner bomb there. Almost wiping out an entire squad. Demon Prince has been killed. So the Force of Chaos have actually lost a sizable amount of their forces on this side. And yeah, okay, they're still holding on this side, but now the elite of the Orcs are going to turn their attention over onto this side and push forward. But their economy is really, really struggling here. At 53 and 52 compared to 125 and 66. The Orcs absolutely needs to rebuild their listing posts. They're also lacking in these relics as well. Nobs being scared out. So the Orcs are going to have to really heavily rely on their Slugger Boys for this, I reckon. The 3 are the cheap. Although they lack their Boys Hut at the moment. The Boys Hut, I assume, went down in that right-hand side push. Slugger Boys been wiped up before they're even able to get a sniff of close combat. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. And I like it. The Chaos Space Marines, they could push in hard if they wanted to. But they know that they've got the economic advantage. They can sit back on their laurels for a little bit longer. And just poke and prod the Orks until they've got nothing left. I was moving out over here. Unable to even see the Chaos Space Marines. So what they're planning to do, I'm not entirely sure. But at this stage of the game, with all this micro going on, you're going to be absolutely shattered, aren't you? Mega Armor Nobs, MVPs for taking out that Bloodthirster. Warboss making it his own mission to come over on this side to personally krump each individual. Got a looted tank as well. Firing over the mountain as they come. Mr. Filer, he's been around for a long time, hasn't he? Not dying anytime soon. Especially when he's been repaired. Another Bloodthirster on the way. And realistically, can the Orcs survive many more pushes like the one we just saw? Still struggling to rebuild everything. Their economy's a little bit better, but it's not a winner's economy. Warboss keeping these guys on their toes. Decapping the critical location just to make sure that they don't lose by count out. What's spotting them? What's breaking your infiltration? Don't know. Not a clue. Oh, it was because they were capturing things. Never mind me. Ignore my ignorance. Warboss goes down. In a traditional sense, when the Warboss dies, his claws become a big, long line of stabby bits. Nobs over here, they're just being shot at. Will fall back. And just a constant supply of slugger boys. What can the Orcs do in this situation at the moment? I suppose they've got a lot of green money. Could they just upgrade all their listing posts to tier 3 in the hopes that the Orcs, in the hopes that the Chaos don't seem to fight them? And the Chaos forces are building up, but there's only so much building up you can do. You need to eventually do something. Still got the Grots in this corner here hiding away. Warboss being rebuilt. But yeah, not much going on. I might even fast forward just a smidgen. Just until the next engagement happens. Does look like we've got some stuff going on over here. Cultists having a look at that Warboss. But all morale being broken by the combination of a fighter bomber and a looted tank. Now if they can get this, keep these guys low morale, and move these guys forward and get some proper good scraps going, I reckon they won't be in a bad position. But need to make sure they've got the infiltration detection at all times. Got a big mech coming back out. A sizable amount of slugger boys been built up. I mean, in the grand total, if they only went for slugger boys, they could get 100 slugger boys on the field. But obviously that won't win any games. But tank busters, I imagine, they also take only one squad cap. Tank busters, slugger boys, and fighter bombers. Is that the way forward? They're certainly causing issues for these Chaos Space Marines. Tank busters over here getting some shots off. Will be spotted by the Chaos Sorcerer though, so they won't be able to engage in too much. Red Squad constantly repairing this fighter bomber. Here we go, the Orc push. Can they get through the extreme fire of the Chaos Space Marines with the help of a fighter bomber? They might just be able to. Certainly push them back somewhat. And like we say, when they've got 30 boys in one general area, they are immune to morale. We need to keep the push up, we need to keep the pressure on. Need to move that Warboss forward. Maybe see if we can get some more krumping done. Otherwise, what was the point in it all? A lot more slugger boys on this side here. But actually, oh, hold on. Fair enough, it's because there's a push going on this side. Like I said, at the moment the Orcs push out, Chaos can push in. Looted tanks moving over onto this side. Squad obliterating the tank busters. Only one member of the squad left. Got one singular flash gate here. Being kept alive by the fighting juice. On auto reinforced by 70 blue and 20 green. You're not going to be having many shooter boys. Oh, look, there's a blooming bloodthirster in the back lines. When did you get here? Yeah, we're all just crumping all the Ork tech. All the Ork economy. Just one that we're getting back on track as well. But he doesn't want to mess with the commanders, so he's going to run away. The Slugger Boy's just been absolutely murdered by all these infiltrated infantries. Can't do anything against them. The Mad Dog getting hoofed in the face. No one likes a good hoofing. But he got it anyway. Our squad's getting a couple of licks on that looted Lehman Russ. Not quite getting the kill there. The momentum is firmly turning against the Orks here. But the Orks are making Chaos fight for every single inch of land. There's still that potential. Still the potential for the unlimited amount of Slugger Boys might turn this tide. But they are running out of squad cap here. Bloodthirster coming in, trying to snag another listing post. Warboss going to chase him away. Firing line on the left-hand side is continuing. They're edging forward one step at a time. And only 3 minutes and 13 seconds until the Chaos win just by default from countdowns. The Orks have not really been in the Chaos side of things for the past 20 minutes, I'd say. I'd say the siege has been going on for quite some time. Tainted land going down, or whatever you call that ability. Doing damage over time to anyone standing on top of it. Yeah, these flash gates. Very fragile at the moment. Most of them have only a couple of scraps of health left. Bloodthirster over here, unable to really get into any sort of combat. His health's not going down. Oh, his health is going down, right. Bloodthirster needs to stay in close combat at all times unless his health is constantly being ticked down. His grasp and reality on the material realm only sustained by skulls and blood and punching people in the chops. Big Mac providing some vision, but not much follow-up. Tank busters aren't going to do much. One squad of Slugger Boys aren't going to do much. Firebomber, yeah, okay, they knocks him over, but they won't be getting any kills with that.
2 minutes until take and hold victory.
2 more minutes till take and hold victory. Orks unable to really push out left or right at the moment. Got one singular Chaos Lord. I've not seen a replacement for the Demon Prince yet. We do have the money for it. Quasi have the money for it. Oh, there we go. Going to go for Demon Prince now. That makes sense. Orks looking to get that decap in. They're just going to hold on. Life and limb for as long as they can. Can they get it? Yes, they can. Nothing's going to keep these boys out of it. Bloodthirster moving in. Spotting these flash gates. Going to ignore the war boss and the mega armored Nobs. Decide to continue to smash up. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's going for the war banners. So rather than the economy, he knows that the economy's shite. But if he can kill enough war banners, that prevents the Orks from massing their Slugger Boys. They can't really afford to replace them very often. So the Slugger Boys are massing on the right-hand side as the Force of Chaos push in inch by inch on the left-hand side. Unseen of, unheard of. Orks need some infiltration detection, but there's none of it at the moment on this side. Oh, they've got War Boss. War Boss is very low on health there. It does look like this is how the cookie crumbles. The Master Yoba here. But solid defense, absolutely have to say. I do believe that the Chaos Space Marines have quite the advantage on this kind of map in the early to mid-game, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But the defense that they put on was great. The use of their war trucks moving around and bringing those big shooters to melt whatever kind of units that they could get. But they just... Once Chaos got that tier 3 a lot earlier than the Orks got their tier 3, it was kind of writing was on the wall. The high-tech units able to take on the Orks low-tech units. By the time they got the flash kits out, I mean, their economy never really kicked off neither. They're always playing on the back foot. But the fact that they've... But are they going to survive now? That's the question. Like, Chaos Space Marines being very cautious with their push in this game. Could probably have afforded to push a little bit more violently. But no, they're going to bleed the Orks dry. Bleed them until they're gone. And, oh, there we go. Master Yoba. We're going to that GG. DANTIST throwing out some boxes. And, yeah, that was like I say, in that game breakdown I just did. Very, very good play by both players. So, nice one. If you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you one extra game a week. And there is also Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description, as always. My name's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never chop. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.